right. Welcome, everybody, to episode 3 of Coming Hot into the Box with Slice and Carnage.
Yay, you made it. Thanks for coming.
Yay, thanks for being here,
Thanks
and
for
thank
being
you for
here,
listening to
friends.
us. Slice, how are you doing today?
I am doing good. I just literally stopped. I've been working and then kid therapy and then food and then here. And here we are.
Yep. Mind you, she's a half an hour away from her home to get here, too.
Yes.
So driving, and then after this, driving back home, and then working tomorrow.
But I got potatoes on my way here. I got fries because my husband ordered me a side of fries with my grinder, which I should state that a grinder is a sub.
Or a hero.
Or a
hoagie.
hero or something. In the state of Connecticut, we call it a grinder. I think it's because we have submarines in the water. So nobody wants to confuse a submarine with a sandwich.
No, there's an actual reason why. It has to do with somebody, like an actual grinder of things. Like,
why is it only Connecticut that calls it a grinder?
Connecticut had a lot of mills, like thread mills, fabric mills, and
I feel like we're taking a trip down history right now.
We are. We're like, hey, strap in, folks. This is now a history podcast.
We're living where the industrial stuff happened.
Yeah. I think that's there. It's a relation. There is a relation.
Is there really? I thought it was just nobody wants to mistake a sandwich and a actual submarine.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, that too. I mean, we are home.
The industrial thing is much, much more interesting than the whole, like, people are stupid.
I'm going to send this to you later. I swear. That's what it is. Actually, let me look it up now.
Yeah, Google it now. We have time.
So thank you, Google. According to Bon Appetit, some claim that the name for grinders, it was Italian-American slang for dock workers, who are often sanding and grinding rusty hulls to repaint them. But the term most likely comes from the fact that they were harder to chew than normal sandwiches. That toothsomeness got translated into and that's where the text is.
That was a great half of story.
Yes, you're welcome for that.
Thanks, Google.
So welcome.
I can always rely on Google to give me the news that I need.
Yes. I mean,
no
hero,
bias.
sub, grinder, hoagie. It's all whatever your choice. We're talking a lot about sandwiches right now.
We are. But
I
just had a good. We're also a food podcast now.
You get it all here, folks. You get it all.
And just like Derby, we're not doing Derby. We're not cooking. We're just talking about it.
Yes, that toothsomeness got translated into grinder, since that's what your teeth had to do to get through a bite.
And only people in Connecticut caught on to that because of the dock workers. I
think that it's over to New York City too. Like New York City, Connecticut. I don't know. This is what this says. Don't.
I'm calling shenanigans.
Okay, you could call shenanigans to eater.com.
How was your day?
My day was fine. Day was fine. My week overall has been very strange. I've had a lot of work drama. Things have kind of been way up and then way down and then all around. So, yeah, good times. But overall, pretty good. Can't complain. Yeah. I've had some kiln issues recently that is preventing me from doing a big art show for me tomorrow. That I make a good amount of money, and because of my broken kiln, I wasn't able to get the inventory up for that, so I'm dealing with that. But I'm okay with it. I've come to peace. I'm glad that you've come to
peace with it.
I made peace with it.
That's rough.
It is pretty rough,
especially like when you're trying to get your business out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. I'm
boo.
Just
boo melty things in a kiln.
Yeah.
Boo. I boo that.
It's very sad, but it's gonna get fixed, and I'll fire my stuff, and there it goes.
I believe in you.
Just fine. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
I'm here for you.
Yeah, you were. Between you and the other people in our group chat, which is Whiskey and Grace. They were all very much informed about my plight this week. Anyway, so episode 3.
Hey, we're here.
Yeah, we're talking about episode 3. And what we're going to talk about today is the cost of Derby.
The cost.
Yeah.
Of, physically, mentally.
Monetarily. Big monetarily. So yes, the expense of Derby.
The expense.
Yeah.
The cost. The overall cost.
So there's a lot of costs, as we all know, that go into Derby. I mean, there's just the gear and skates, dues, travel expenses if you're traveling on a traveling team, gym membership you might want to do, which you might already have anyway, but it's still a thing.
Yeah, there's I feel like a lot of the cost of Derby is like the initial chunk of change you got to drop.
Absolutely.
On Derby.
Absolutely.
Will make you realize just how poor and how much you want something.
Yeah, and I know when freshies first start, they get there like a lot of places. Actually, I know that Bruce Boutique has packages that they put together for freshies or for fresh meat or for new skaters, whatever you call them.
There's actually other places that do that too. I was looking it up, and there's
Mad Skates USA. Was that one of them?
There was Empire Skates.
Mm-hmm.
They do one, and Medusa Skates was another one that I found.
Ah, Medusa, not Mad USA.
Did you say Mad USA? Oh my God.
Slice had written. I thought you capitalized the U, so it was Mad USA. And so when I rewrote it,
Oh my God.
Mad USA.
It would have been Med USA. Medusa Mad USA. I'm keeping it. I hope everybody at Medusa Skates enjoys that.
Anyway,
funny.
That is funny.
You know what I noticed on these fresh meat packages that wasn't there when I first started, or at least maybe I didn't look hard enough, but they do XXL now. Are you still on Mad USA?
No, I'm looking at it. I just laughed.
Goodness.
So, as you were saying about these skating packages.
Anyway, the skating packages, I've noticed when I was researching them for the pod that they offer the XXL or Moxie thick pads in their skating
awesome.
packages. They didn't have that when I was looking. But also, when I bought my skates when everybody during the pandemic was buying skates.
Yeah, right.
So there was a lot of low inventory in a lot of places.
Yeah.
The skates that I bought were basically because of there was like only certain skates available. But yeah, they have the bigger pads.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because when I bought mine, because I'm a thick lady and I needed the double XL, and I didn't realize that I needed the double XL until I got the new skater package and none of my pads fit. And that was a bummer.
That's a real bummer.
Yeah.
I think I remember that too, because we had loaner gear, which that does help with the expense of, when we have our freshie recruitment, we have loaner gear that we can give out to interested people so that when, they come in, we have people donate their old gear or their used gear, or even freshies that have just bought new gear and then it just doesn't work out for them. They sometimes donate it to the league. So we loan out gear, and it's usually not very good because it is usually used old gear, but
we have some decent ones in there, but we definitely have some older ones in there that
but at least they get a chance to test it out before they try it and kind of know what is going to work for them better. And so that's one thing. But yeah, definitely, your freshie packages. I think that's the way a lot of people start out, though, is to see if they can get that kind of package. And for those of you who aren't aware, for any reason, like a freshie package would include your skates and then your helmet, wrist guards, elbow pads, and knee pads.
Yes.
It does not include a mouth guard typically. That is something you'd have to purchase separately. When I was doing a little bit of research, the range from freshie packages range from like $250 to $900. I think, and the big difference there tends to be the skates, the kind of skates that you're getting.
Yeah, the skates or the plates.
Plates.
The plates on the skates. That rhymes.
Plates on skates.
Plates on skates.
So yeah, the initial investment is big, especially if you're on a budget,
Yeah.
or your birthday isn't around the time that you start Derby. And you can just call in all the favors for birthday presents like I did. So that is certainly a big investment, but I think they're great. They're great for what their purpose is to get people started and to get some preliminary gear. But I feel like a lot of times it doesn't last very long, like, or the skates aren't great, or they don't maybe fit or aren't very comfortable. I mean, I've just different things that I've heard over the years.
Yeah. I mean, I think it has a lot to do with your feet. Because I got the skater package when I first started, and I have a wide toe box.
Mm-hmm.
I need the wide toe box. So my original skates that I used, I didn't use them very long before I was like, okay, I am really invested into derby, but I need to really invest in some different skates because my feet are dying. But the skates that I got from the package, another skater uses now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do think that's it, and especially when you are getting into derby and getting into gear, which we're going to have a whole separate episode on, but like you learn initially like, wow, this doesn't feel right for me, or this doesn't feel good for me, and then you're going to have to be like, okay, well, I probably need different knee pads, or I definitely need to get different skates because of the way my foot is, or this and that.
Or if you were dumb like me and realized that you ordered a size smaller than you should have.
That also doesn't help.
Which is why it's a really good idea, if you're gonna buy skates, go in person to try on skates, and if you can.
Absolutely.
If you're near somewhere within a reasonable amount of drive, please go somewhere and try on skates before you invest in skates, because they're so stupid expensive.
Absolutely.
And you get it in the mail and you're so excited, and you try it on and you're like, oh shit, this is like small. And then you have to make the decision, like I did, of do I still skate in these, or do I try to send them back? And I was a dum-dum, and I was just like, I'm just going to keep skating in them.
Yeah.
And that was painful.
But like the right gear can definitely
it really is a good idea. If you can buy it in person, go in person.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Those specials that you see online exist in the store too.
Yeah.
So go try on stuff that you're going to spend so much money on. This is a special message for anybody thinking about starting roller derby.
Yeah.
And like I know a lot of recruitments are coming up, so I bet
tons.
there's a lot of people out there right now that are like, I want to do the thing. I'm going to learn all about the thing. And that's how they found us.
Yeah. Yay. Welcome.
Welcome.
So I did a little research on skates just to kind of give everybody an idea of like what you might be getting into. So like the lowest or most cost effective skates that I found were like 135, 150 or so. Mid-range skates, I feel tends to go for like 350 to 500, and then like your high-end fancy dancy skates, those tend to go for like 800 plus.
Yeah, and those fancy dancy skates, a lot of that cost has to do with the plates too on that one too.
Yeah, I mean you're buying your boot and your plate, because especially when you get to the higher end skates, it's just like you're buying the boot and then you're also buying the plate separately.
Which another topic too is you could buy two separately. You can buy your boot and you can buy a plate. I mean, you would have to like talk to people who know what they're doing. Yeah. But my boot and my plate did not come together.
Yeah, my second pair of skates did not. My first pair did. My very first pair of derby skates did. But when I decided in 2019 that
like the 1900s.
Yeah, it was in the 1900s.
Way
back in my day,
before Titanic sank.
But back in 2019, I had decided to get new skates for myself, because I'm like, you know what? I'm with this new league, and I'm like, I really need new skates. I have painfully flat feet and like a lot of issues with my feet, so I need to be able to skate with my custom orthotics. And the skates I had were getting pretty old and also like would not fit my orthotics, so that was another expense. But I needed orthotics for everything, not just skates.
I skate with insoles and with the inserts because I have plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, I have.
That doesn't like to go away.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Yay, feet.
Hey, feet suck. But when I got my new skates, I got my boot, and then I got the Arius plate that has a butterfly bearing instead of like a circular bearing, and that has been challenging to adapt to, believe it or not. But we're not going to get into the anatomy of skates today.
We're not.
But I will tell you that plates will go for anywhere between like, $100 to like $400.
Yeah, they can be stupid expensive.
Yeah. Yep. They can get stupid expensive. So you got your skates, right? And that's a really important part because they are the workhorse, obviously. Is it called roller derby for no reason?
And if you're getting your rental gear from a skating rink and you're using skating rink rentals, you're not going to want to skate on those very long because
they are not derby skates.
They're not derby skates, and they're going to give you the wrong impression of what you can do on skates because, they're not adjusted to skating for derby.
Right.
So if you try to go and skate and you're like, I can't turn, is that me? And you're like, oh, you're not wearing skates that are adjusted for you.
Right. Yeah, those skates don't have any give in
there's
the
like
trucks
no turning in them.
There's no turning in them. Nope.
Yeah, there's none. So, yeah, that is really the biggest initial investment that you want to get because derby gear can last you for a while. But the skates, you want to get good skates.
Yeah. But I will say the things that you should invest the most in are your knee pads and your helmets.
Hells yeah.
Oh my God. Cannot stress that enough. First of all, don't get a cheap helmet because it's your goddamn brain. Like, you only got one brain and, you fall in derby. And I've made enough faces in my life when people have fallen on their head. And I'm just like, ooh.
There is a smack of a helmet on the ground that is, it when you hear it of like, that helmet will need to be replaced.
Yes. That telltale smack.
You will hear it and it will probably come from yours. So please get a good helmet.
Yes. As a person who has gotten a mild concussion from a good crack to the helmet. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important. It was a minor concussion and not like a major concussion. And also because you only got two set of knees. We've already discussed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't keep having surgery and taking people's knees.
That's right. It's true.
It's just not polite.
It's not fair. It's not polite.
It's not polite and it's not fair to the other people's who needs knees.
It is not proper.
I'm not entirely sure if I even said that. Needs knees.
Needs knees.
They needs knees.
Whew. Yeah. But I really feel like proper knee pads or like comfortable cushiony knee pads do a lot for new skaters, like in their confidence to fall, because so many times as a coach it's just like what's holding a lot of skaters back is in their head they just don't want to fall, and you have to get over that. And I think part of getting over that is getting good knee pads.
Yes, and let me let you people in on a little secret.
Ooh.
The thicker the knee pad, the better your knee taps will be. Because if you're someone like me who fucking hates knee taps with a fiery burning passion, you want to get really thick knee pads. And the best ones are the 187 killer pads, the derby ones.
Yes.
You're like, you only go down like halfway and it's like, bam, knee.
What is that saying? The higher the hair, the closer to God.
Yeah.
The thicker the knee pad, the closer to the floor.
Yeah. It's great. The best investment I have made has been the knee pads that I have.
And I know that there are some people out there that are in a different camp than that. That the thicker the knee pad, the thicker the knee pad, right? Like the more cushion, the thicker it is. And sometimes if like you're on the smaller side, you have a smaller frame, thicker knee pads, thicker knee pads. I went thicker.
Thicker with 2 C's.
Thicker. Thicker knee pads, it becomes difficult to do like crossovers.
That's true.
You know, just to get the swing around. Or if you have tight hips, like if you have tight hips and thick knee pads, a crossover is going to be challenging for you.
Until you realize the proper way to do a crossover to where like your hip is a little bit more open. Because I had that problem. Because I have tight hips, I have big ass thighs, and I had thick knee pads.
The triple threat.
Triple threat. I was triple thick.
Triple thick. Sorry.
Triple thick with 3 C's.
It's you're a threat on the track. Threat on the track.
Yeah.
She's not afraid to fall, and she got thick legs. You're not getting by her.
I am not afraid to fall, as the other day told me. I was just like, wee.
So just to kind of run down a little bit more research, because folks, I did research for this.
You did do research. I am just entertained so much by the research that you're throwing at me right now, because I got nothing.
I did like a full like proper document.
And I have tips and tricks on how to play the system. So continue.
Yes. And we love that too. So, I mean, this is all if you're buying new, of course. But I find that if you're playing regularly, you're probably going to need to replace your gear. Like I'm talking, when I say gear, I mean like your knee pads, your elbow pads, your wrist guards. You're probably going to have to replace your wrist guards the most.
Yeah, I've already replaced mine.
I've probably gone through maybe 3 or 4 sets of wrist guards. Mm-hmm. And that's with me only playing, as we've mentioned, 2 full seasons and 2 half seasons of Derby.
Total of 3 seasons.
But I mean, I've been on skates otherwise, but like not aggressively like I'm playing the game. So with wrist guards tend to be pretty inexpensive. At the low end is like $12, mid-range is like $28, and high end is $50. I'm like mid-range girl all day long. Like the the $28 range, I find that's like a good bread and butter because they hold up well and you don't need to spend like super lots of money on them.
Yeah, I think there is a quality difference in wrist pads.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
because the cheaper you go, the more likely you're going to lose that insert.
Yep,
that's in the wrist pad, and you're gonna lose it during a game.
Oh yes, when you least want it to happen, that's when it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and then I think I splurged on my wrist pads, my newest ones, not my original ones, because I wanted ones that I could wear my watch with it.
Yeah. And that's what I got. Why I got the ones I got.
Yeah.
Now, and it doesn't work. I'm like, cool.
That's why I got these stretchy bands.
I
can
need
just,
a stretchy band.
Shove it up my arm, and I can still wear my wrist guards.
Yeah,
stretchy bands.
That's what. That's what I need.
Man.
No, I totally need
like
that. Yeah,
$7 for like 3 of them.
Oh fuck, I'm doing that.
Yeah,
sure.
I know. I love a good sale.
So the other thing that I've replaced the most would be my knee pads. I would say is second. And what's super fun for me that I haven't met anybody else with this type of problem except for one skater. Her and I had knee surgery like right around the same time, but hers was on her right knee and mine's on my left knee. And the surgery, I think she had ACL tear. It was Triple D. Shout out to Triple D, who I think went through that same surgery as me right around the same time. We had to wear a brace on our leg that had the surgery on it. So I have this like apparatus that I wear every single time I skate because, again, we've already talked about the knee thing. But I need a bigger pad to go over that brace. Mm-hmm. So I have an extra large on my left and a large on my right. So I have to buy 2 sets of pads every time I need to replace one.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It's a super bummer. So I've like started spacing it out so I'm not like buying like 2 sets of pads at the same time, but like it really sucks.
Or you can get a brace for your other knee. Or 2 knee braces, and then you'll always have.
I think it's actually more cost effective if I don't do that.
Yeah, probably. In this economy?
Well, I have all new gear, so I'm all good for a long while.
That's good.
Yeah. But yeah.
I wear like a knee brace, but I have I have the extra large pads, the 187 derby ones, and there's like, it goes between 3 different sizes. So like,
nice.
Yeah, so it's like I use the 2X on this leg and then the 1X on this leg. So it's like, but they're the same pad. It's nice.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if mine do that. I should probably look into that.
You should.
There's adjustable foot. Oh. Anyway, so for good knee pads, for knee pads, you can get them as cheap as $32. I definitely don't recommend those. No offense, because what happens is those tend to be very thin. You will feel that fall.
Yeah, I remember when I was a freshie and starting out, and there was a couple of freshies that started with me and I remember one of them was wearing, they were like almost non-existent pads. Like they were so thin. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's
not gonna work.
Nope, not pleasant at all.
And here I am, like, I feel like I need more pads. Like I need to be like a roller hockey pads. I just from head to toe. Just that's what I want.
So then you have triple eights are at like $50, right around there, and then you have your killer 187 killer pads. Those are my go-to pad. They've always been my go-to pad, and
yeah, that's what I have.
I love them. They're fantastic.
They're good pads.
And then your helmet. I've gotten many helmets over the years. God damn. Helmets are another thing. Helmets, I definitely have a lot of helmets. Your S1 Lifer helmets, about $80. You can get some for less than that out there, that are different than the S1 Lifer. Then you can get ones that range up to from $90. There's a lot like $90, and then $154 was the most expensive one that I saw out there, and that had
Is that just like a plain helmet, or was it the ones that with the face shield?
It was the one with the face shield.
Yeah.
And glitter.
And glitter. Face shield and glitter.
Yep. And, I will say so I was coaching my old team, and during the tournament game that we were playing, one of my players got hit in the nose and broke her nose, and she skates with a helmet with a visor on it. And yeah, I think more people need to do that.
Yes, especially if you're on the shorter end.
Yes.
You should definitely have a visor on your...
I agree. Yeah.
And if you jam and you're a smaller person, I would recommend it. Yeah, because there's so many people are trying to block you from going through, and even though it is illegal, elbows happen.
Yeah. Derby happens.
Especially during practice. Yeah, that person will get a penalty, but you'll also get a broken nose.
That's right.
Like one will get 30 seconds to suffer, and you will have a while. So
30 days or more.
30 days or more. So if you are on the shorter side and you jam, probably a good idea to get a helmet with a visor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely agree on that for sure.
I know it is pricey though.
It is pricey. But, broken nose.
Broken nose. Again, in this economy,
who needs a broken nose?
Who needs a broken nose? Nobody can afford that.
Broken noses are going up.
I can't even afford to go to the clinic.
Word.
Who can?
Who can? Your cheapest thing that you're probably going to buy is a mouth guard.
It is. And let me drop another tidbit of
please.
information on you. If you go to is it Sisu?
I think it's Sisu.
Is it Sisu? If you go to the Sisu website and you go on their sale tab, you will find all of their clearance ones. And they're only on clearance because they're just outdated colors. Or something. Like, if you don't care about the color of your mouth guard, Sisu clearance. That's where you're at.
And some people definitely do.
Yeah.
Yep, I do.
Mine's pink.
Mine has to be red.
Oh, mine's pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it matches my skates.
My skates are red.
My skates are pink.
There you go. See? There you go.
Oh, together we make Valentine's Day.
Oh, we're the cutest.
We are the cutest.
It's so cute.
Look at us go.
Oh, we're so adorbs.
We are adorbs.
We're just skating Valentine's Day everywhere.
Love is in the air.
So the other thing, and I keep saying it's like, oh, and then also you're replacing this a lot too. Wheels. How many people? If just think out loud now. How many sets of wheels do you have? If you've been skating for more than 5 years, how many sets of wheels do you have? Do you still have in your possession? I have 6 sets of wheels. Yeah, sets, like groups of 8.
I have a lot.
Yeah. You accumulate wheels like crazy.
And it's really good to keep them organized of what each one is.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're good at that, keep them organized. Be like, oh, these are my outdoor wheels, or oh, I'm going on a slippery floor. These are my 84s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the higher the number, the harder the skate. The lower the number, they're softer wheels. Mm-hmm. Outdoor wheels tend to be in like the 70s. And
yeah, I think mine are 60s and 70s.
Oh, I haven't seen them as low as 60, but yeah, okay, I'll buy it.
I want to say the pulses are, maybe they're 78.
Yeah, most of them are like 78, 76.
They were down into the 60s. I could be wrong though. I'm wrong often, so.
So you got lots of wheels. Wheels tend to go, lowest price wheels I found were like $17. You could pay up to like $175 for wheels, and those are like alloy wheels, and that's insanity.
And is it 4 or is it 8?
No, it's for 8.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, be careful when you're buying wheels, because you'll be like, oh, I'm getting these wheels, and you put it in your cart and you check out and you get them in the mail, and there's only 4.
And it's only 4. You need 8.
There's only 4. You need 8.
Yep, definitely need 8. You have 2 skates.
And mistakes have happened.
And they only sell them in groups of 4 or in packs of 4 because some people skate with different hardnesses on their skates.
I do.
Yep, so do I.
Yeah.
I skate with 99.95s.
I do 88s and 98s.
Oh, wow. That's a big jump.
I do the softer wheels on the pushing side of crossovers, and then the harder side on the outsides. So, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I looked it up. It works for me. And I don't have to change my skates between floors.
Yeah, I mean, and it really is what works for you. And if you are curious about what wheels work for you, ask around to your team to see who has different hardness wheels. So, and maybe they'll let you try them. Mm-hmm. That was something I would recommend. Because what I use, other people might not.
It depends on skill level, too. Because some people... Sure. I know as a freshie, I was like, I want the stickiest wheels possible because I don't want to go anywhere. Yeah. That gave me stability.
Yeah, and I think that's true, but then you'll get to a point where you're going to outgrow that feeling.
I did. Yeah. I did, because I was actually making it harder for me to do skills.
Yes.
Because I was going too slow to do the skill. Like, some skills are just easier to do if you have speed behind you.
Right. Oh, so, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I got out of that pretty fast, but when I was like brand new, like could not skate, I was like, just don't die.
And then you have some extraneous things like your shin guards. A lot of skaters, especially jammers, again, wear shin guards, but really I have seen all sorts of people wear shin guards because your shins get tore up from the floor up. Mm-hmm. Yikes.
That's why some people like Whiskey Mermaid wear... long socks.
Yep.
Because it's just the wheels slide off of the socks faster than they slide off of your legs. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and those of you who, when I first started derby way back in the derby days, when derby was a lot of fishnets and booty shorts. Not that it isn't now, but it's far less than it used to be like 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Wearing fishnets, God bless you if you still do, that hurts when you fall.
I believe it.
If you fall and slide on fishnets,
oh,
yeah, you get fishnet burn. I've gotten fishnet burn before. It is unpleasant. Do not recommend.
Huh.
Yeah, it makes a really, really cool looking injury though.
I bet. I never even thought about that. But even if fishnets were still around, I personally wouldn't wear them. Just because like I have chub rub and I don't need that. I don't need that in my life.
So shin guards, gaskets, like to wear like your knee gaskets. If you have knee injuries, those are available and not necessarily cheap. Ankle booties. I love my Easy Fits. Like, do you know what the ankle booties are?
I've seen them. I don't know what they do.
So they basically just cradle your, like, from your arch through your ankle up to like where a booty sock would be, like so just above your ankle. So it basically is like a wrap for your heel and your ankle. And for me, it helps keep my foot from sliding around too much in my skate. So it like makes my foot a little bit more snug and prevents me from getting certain blisters too. So
would it help with heel slip?
Yes, I think it would.
Oh, no shit. Maybe I should get some of those.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of skaters do skate with them, and I definitely recommend them, especially if you're having things like heel slip, for sure. I would check.
Do you skate with socks or without socks?
With socks?
Okay.
Yeah, I would wear my socks and then the ankle booties.
Okay, because I think I've seen people wear those and then not wear socks, which is
I am not I cannot wear. No, I need to wear socks with my skates.
Can't do it. I cannot do it. I tried it once and I was like, nope, never again.
No,
this is not for me.
It was like swamp ass for my feet.
Yeah, it was so gross.
Swamp feet.
Yeah, and if you do skate without socks, that's your choice.
Hey, you do you.
We're not here to judge you.
That's right. Oh, hell no.
You go out there and you do the thing.
You have your swamp feet.
You have your swamp feet. They're yours.
They're yours.
I will not take away that right from you.
And then you have bearings. Sometimes at some point, especially I feel like with jammers who are doing everything they can to go super fast, your bearings might need to be changed out in your wheels, and those can cost like several dollars. Several tens of dollars.
Yeah, especially depends on the bearings that you want. I know some people like to change out to like the ceramic.
Yeah.
Which are like a lighter and go faster, I have heard. And those are very expensive. Those are expensive bearing.
Yeah, for sure.
Or you can just go with your basic reds.
Yeah.
Go with your reds.
I skate on Swiss bones.
Yeah, Swiss bones too.
I like Swiss bones.
Why not? Yeah. I'm not going fast. I don't care.
And I like to skate quite fast when I can. It makes me feel, it's like my best feeling. And then on top of all that, it's all the derby apparel. Your uniforms, your scrimmage shirts, your t-shirts that you have to buy at every bout or event. All
the derby shirts pile up.
Oh, derby shirts pile up?
Yeah, because you go to a bout and you're like, well, I need a new derby shirt. And I love their design, so.
Yep.
Every time. They just pile up.
It gets you. It gets you.
Yeah. And sometimes they just have really cool shirts, have like cool like phrases on them. I know like especially when teams do the pride gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. They always do some cool stuff for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I like to buy people's pride stuff.
So if we've frightened you with all these prices and numbers, and this is speaking US dollars, all of the amounts that I've said today is in US dollars, there are other resources out there that you can utilize instead of buying new.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of leagues might get donations, and like I said, with loaner gear, but then there are also Facebook groups out there that do derby, like sell your old derby gear, basically.
Yeah, or people who retired from derby will sell their gear. People who've bought new gear will sell their gear. People who've been injured and no longer play will sell their gear. What's another? And also another place, before you go onto Facebook, ask the people that you skate with, if in your league, if anybody has possibly your size skate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just sitting around, because some people might have it.
Yeah.
You never know. It's happened a couple of times in our league. But as far as Facebook groups go, there is Derby Gear for Sale. Derby Deals is another one. And then there's Buy, Sell, or Trade Roller Skate Gear, which sometimes just has regular skates, like your artistic skates. And then sometimes it has derby gear on there, but you'll find both. But you'll find much cheaper option to go and get used, especially if you're starting new.
Yeah.
This episode is definitely a love letter to anybody who's just starting out. That, there is places out there. You don't have to get the most expensive thing on the market.
Absolutely.
Your skates don't have to be the most expensive skates.
Mm-hmm.
There's places out there that make it affordable to join Derby.
Absolutely.
You know, and you can get better gear as you go.
Yeah, and it can be piecemeal, like we mentioned. I mean, you don't have to get everything all at once, and you'll need different things at different times.
Right. And, you know, you'll make friends in your community of Derby, and there's a lot of swapping going on. Like, if you need outdoor wheels one day, like, hey, does anybody have these outdoor wheels? And guaranteed somebody has those wheels that you can borrow.
Yep. I've definitely lent out my wheels to many a skater.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure I haven't gotten some back.
I know I haven't gotten some back.
I know I haven't gotten some back too. But I mean, and that's okay. I know where they are. I don't need them. But I feel like it's really important to stress that if you're sitting there and you're thinking about doing Derby and you're really worried about the cost, like it can be cost effective. You just go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just go to recruitment, because a lot of places will work with you and help you, because we need players. We can't play the game unless we have players.
And NSOs and referees.
Absolutely. You know, even just get into the league.
Yeah, for sure.
Before you start skating and learn the game.
Oh, God, boy. Would I love to see that more.
Yeah.
So aside from the monetary, we also have like the personal cost. I know that a lot of skaters take this very seriously, even if they're doing it just for fun. Of course, when it comes to game day, they take it very seriously. And sometimes maybe you don't perform as well, or you see that you have progressed a lot at one point and then you plateau, because that happens to everybody. Mm-hmm. And then you get frustrated because you've plateaued and you're stuck on a certain thing. I've seen a lot of people get really stressed out about that and like get really down on themselves and hard on themselves. And I think that that's part of the emotional cost that Derby can take, is that you want to be so good at it. You want to do your best at it. And sometimes you just don't feel like you're at your best. And sometimes you're not at your best. I mean, there's a lot of factors there. But I think that can bug people and kind of make it counterproductive to what it's supposed to be, which is fun and challenging.
I think once you realize that everybody has their mental struggle in Derby, that everybody is always working on something, and that nobody is so confident that they're just perfect, that they think they're perfect. Like everybody, when you realize that everybody has that, it becomes less of a burden, I think, on you.
Yeah,
to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You know, nobody goes into Derby thinking that they're going to be perfect at it. Everybody has their thing. Everybody has their thing that they're working on. Everybody has their stress, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's definitely okay, and I think it's part of the journey, but that's definitely a toll that it can take. And if you maybe don't have a great support system around you at home or what have you, if you're having a rough day and then you have a rough day at Derby, and like it can kind of spiral out from there.
I've definitely had that happen, where I had just like a rough day and then I went to Derby. I cried. It was when I did knee taps in front of people, and it was like when I was like really new. And I was trying to do, and I was just so sad.
Yeah.
And I just took it out on it was just me taking it out on me.
Right.
You know, I think we become our own worst enemies sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. And I mean, it is a mental stress to like, for when there are tryouts, we have a lot of anxiety, a lot of mental stress on that. Or if like, depending on how you handle like your stress before a game, like there's a lot of things that you kind of need to, that I think it's with any sport. You have to look at that challenge head on, and it's really difficult sometimes.
But I think the reason why a lot of people stay in Derby is because the good outweighs the bad. The bad cost of the mental toll that being part of Derby could take.
Yeah, heavens, yes.
Yeah.
I do think that sort of mental stress or mental cost it doesn't last very long. Typically it usually is like a little funk or a period of time that you're going through, which can be challenging. So if you're going through it, don't give up, because it has so much more to give.
And also, don't compare yourself to others.
Oh God,
Please don't compare your progress to somebody else's progress.
Yeah, it's a challenging ask.
It is. It's easier said than done because I'm guilty of it. I am totally guilty of comparing myself to others.
Yeah, same.
And when, especially doing something that you love and you just want to progress and you want to do better, and you come along and then somebody comes along and does a skill that you're working so hard to try to get, and they just do it in the first try and is like, this is the worst. How did you do that? But don't do it. Do not compare how you do with somebody else, because everybody's on their own journey. Everybody has different things that they're dealing with on their body. Everybody's body's different. Everybody works different. Everybody starts out in a different place. Some people start off knowing how to skate some, and some people start off not knowing. So
for sure,
your journey is your journey.
Yeah. Embrace that shit.
Embrace it, bitch.
Wow. Just right out there with that.
I am.
Just embrace that,
embrace
bitch.
It, bitch.
I love you, bitch. So on top of the personal, you also have, finding that family time balance. A lot of derby players I know are juggling many things, many life things, like a massive amount of life things. They've got kids and they've got multiple children and that are active in sports and going off to college and work stuff and all of the things, taking care of family members and
or it's a player that's in school, like actively.
Actively in school too, for sure.
Yeah.
So you're trying to find that family work derby balance. I think can take its toll sometimes, for sure.
It can. Joining derby definitely makes you realize that you have to become really good at your time management, and you have to figure out your priorities.
Absolutely.
Because your priorities might be different than the person next to you. Some people might prioritize like their kids getting to the sports games over derby, which is like, but some people might not. Like, it just, your priorities are yours. And you really have to figure that out when it comes to joining a team that requires you to be at practice 2 to 3 times a week, and then on top of games.
Right, exactly.
In the summer and stuff, like, you have to make sure that you're prioritizing the right things.
And the right things for you.
Yes.
I don't have children, but I run a small business. I am a manager of a department at my place of work. I have a husband. I have friends and family, but like derby is a huge part of my life. And I know that that's not the case for everybody. I know that derby is just, people do what they can when they can, and that's completely cool. Like, not everybody's going to be on the board. Not everybody's going to want that kind of level of involvement, and that's cool. And that you do what you can or what you want to do. But sometimes you get the people that go all in, and sometimes that can be really, I think time management, like you said.
Yeah.
It's you need to make sure that you're prioritizing the things that you need to.
Absolutely. I would say, like, try not to go all in. Like, really, balance is such a key thing in life. Like, you need a balance. In all things, you need balance.
For sure.
You can't go all in on work. You can't go all in on your hobby that you enjoy. You can't go all in on the sport that you enjoy. You have to have balance. So as much as you want to be the person to say yes to everything, make sure you are setting boundaries.
Yes, that is very true.
It's okay to say no to some things. I say this with so much love in my heart because I am that person.
I mean, I would try to make a joke here and say I'm not that person.
Yeah.
But my husband's sitting in the other room and would probably come in here and like
point and laugh, probably.
He would definitely point and laugh and be like, that is a bold-faced lie.
I think in what we have really supportive partners.
Very, yes.
And my husband is really good at, like, we're really good at communicating. We're really good at making sure that each one of us have our thing. We're also, and spending time with my son and making sure that somebody is always there. Communication, I think, is the big one, is the key. And there are things that I don't do for derby because I'm like, nope, this is my family day. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. So. And you have to have that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, I feel like balance in life is really important. Please, make sure you find balance.
Yeah.
Be one with the universe. Center your chi.
Center your chi, man. Yeah. Meditate. Can't recommend that enough.
Also, I try to meditate and I fall asleep.
Yeah, that can happen for sure.
Yeah, sleepies.
And then finally, the physical toll, the physical costs.
Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to do a whole episode on injuries, so I'm not going to really get into like injuries, but there is a physical cost to playing derby.
Yeah.
The saying in derby that it's not if you'll get injured, it's when.
When you will get hurt.
Yeah, it's very likely.
It's just like any exercise. There's gonna be pain, especially if you're just starting out doing something. Like, there's gonna be pain from just moving your body and moving muscles that you've never used before.
Right. Yes. Oh yeah, the muscle pain.
The muscle pain is real, especially doing things, like hitting people and blocking and doing all of it's painful. Like, and it's usually like 2 days later. It's never the day after practice. It's like 2 days after practice that you wake up and you're like, oh, I can't move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Or you get like all these gnarly bruises on your legs and then and then you're just walking around your house and you bump into something and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Your legs are like 5 different shades of black and blue. At least when I was playing, I was constantly I had a hematoma on my ankle area for like a month because it's always the same place that people will hit you when they're falling or in your pack. It just oh God, I just kept getting whacked and whacked and whacked and whacked. It was awful. But they always make for good pictures.
They do, unless they're in an inappropriate area.
But even then, it could be funny.
Even then, it could be funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, the worst is now. Tell me, all you out there, have you gotten a Gina Shina yet?
Gina Shina.
Carnage.
What's a Gina Shina?
Oh, let me tell you. I'm so glad you asked that, Slice.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A Gina Shina is when you fall on a skate on your vagina.
Lands right there.
Your vagina
JJ.
just goes right onto a wheel. Or you get kicked right in your vaginal opening.
Vagine.
Let me tell you. That is unpleasant.
Sounds unpleasant.
Yeah, it's happened to me in case you haven't.
No, I gathered.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me. It happened to me early on in my derby career, and I still remember how that motherfucker felt.
I bet. It stays with you always.
It's unpleasant.
It sounds unpleasant.
Luckily, vaginas are tough as nails, and it hurts just for a couple days, and then it's like, okay, we're good. But oh, man.
Yeah, your vagina took a pounding.
It does, but... But that kind of pounding nobody should endure.
No, it sounds unpleasant. I've only had really close where it was on my upper thigh, and it was because we were playing a game. I can't remember who we were playing, but I had 3 people fall on me.
Oof.
And one of them, a skate went right there. And it was so close. I was so close to having a Gina Shina.
Yowza.
Yeah. That was fun. But I feel just from practices, I just get bruises on my arms.
Yeah,
mostly.
For sure.
Mostly upper arms, bruises, or right on my chest if I get hit with a shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit hurts.
It does. It does. And then if you do get injured severely, then there's obviously the monetary costs of physical therapy and surgery and copays.
In this economy,
who needs that?
Nobody.
So be safe out there, kids, and get yourself some good gear when you can afford it.
I mean, it's better pay for good gear than it is to pay for a hospital bill.
Oh,
At least in the good old US of A.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Here's looking at you, Canada.
And Finland and Sweden.
And hey-oh in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole other conversation for a different day.
Yeah.
Sure is. Well, we don't have any official reviews today, correct?
We don't, but I did have a question.
Sure.
What is the one thing that you bought for Derby that nobody suggested that you buy for Derby that you just bring with Derby with you to play?
Oh boy. I always wear a bandana.
You do always wear a bandana.
Yep, I always wear a bandana, whether I'm playing. And I saw a skater back when I skated with Hard who started wearing them. Jersey Barrier. That was her name.
I love that.
Yeah. Shout out to Jersey if you're listening. Like, she would always wear bandanas. And then I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. I was like, why are you wearing that? She's like, because I sweat a lot. And I'm like, oh my God, I sweat a lot. Like, I think that's why she said it. I can't. It was like 12 years ago.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, I always wear a bandana, not on my head, but around my neck so that I can like mop up my sweat during the game. That and the ankle booties. I saw somebody else wearing them and I'm like, oh shit, I really need to, like, it feels weird not skating with them right now.
I should get me some of those.
Yeah, but bandana and ankle booties.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. How about you? Is there anything that you wear or buy or got that nobody told you to get, but you love and do it?
Period underwear.
Oh, praise the period underwear.
Period underwear.
Yep.
Every time. Sometimes two.
Yeah.
And it's not for your period.
Nope.
It's just in case you pee a little.
That's right. You know, I am so happy they have those now.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
As somebody that doesn't have a really great bladder, it's
you know, with
really
somebody
important.
who has a shit pelvic floor.
Yeah. Word.
And you get hit.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how many times you go to the bathroom before a game. You're still going to pee a little.
Yep.
It's
going to happen.
It is.
So,
period underwear.
We hope you enjoyed our tips for the day.
You're welcome.
So I think that's it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. We've just been chatting away.
Yeah, I think that's all we got. And I think that about wraps it up for us.
Yeah.
You know what we would like you listeners to do?
Get out there and be goddamn delightful.
So for now, this is Coming Hot into the Box with Slice and Carnage. Bye!
Hey, Mom, did you listen to my podcast?
What's a podcast?